Hello again, everybody. A few people, a fair few people in the comments section were asking me to do regular updates of the ants. Well, I'm not sure if I will keep this up all year, but here you go. Here's an update for what's happened after, about a week and a half they've now been out of hibernation. So first of all, I've emptied the outworld. Let's just put it that way. By that, I mean I've got it so that very, very few of them are exploring in the outworld now. And as you can see from these pictures, it's a practically deserted outworld. Um, I did that by midweek this week. I gave them some boiled chicken. I was having chicken for dinner. As I've said before, you don't need to do anything special for ants. You need to go out and buy chicken because all I'm looking for is once you've used the packet of chicken, there's bound to be just little slithers. We're talking tiny, tiny little amounts of chicken left behind. Just take some little slither, drop it in a cup, pour boiling water over it, leave it for a couple of minutes. When it's that small, it boils, it cooks in 2, 3 minutes. It hardly takes any time at all. Then I sliced it into the smallest little breadcrumb sized chunks that I thought I could get. But what you notice is no matter how small you think something is when you're chopping it up, when you actually give it to the ants, it still looks enormous. So yes, I gave them some chicken like that, all sliced up in a bottle top, and I gave the same to the flavus. And as you can see from these pictures, they went absolutely mental for it. Both the Flavus and the Niger absolutely loved it. I had hordes of them coming out. They were processing it for a full 24 hours before I took it back out again. They did leave a little bit. It had gone very hard and very dry. But yeah, that, more apple, more sugar, and they've basically got very happy, got themselves all filled back up after hibernation. And at the moment, there's no sort of demand for any more, which is why the outworld has gone completely empty. So I looked inside the nests to see what was going on inside the nests. The Niger have spread out, which I said they would, once those clumps of opened back up, the little groups of ants that clump up for hibernation, once they separate themselves all out. As you can see from these pictures, they're filling now most of the rooms fairly uniformly. There is some room left in the second nest. About half of that is still fairly deserted, so they've got plenty of expansion room if they need it this year. Found the queen. I'd found her last time, as I showed you anyway, but now she's uncovered. She's not lying underneath a giant bunch of ants anymore, and I can definitely see that she's very healthy, fully alive. Um, Very difficult to find larvae with the Lasius niger. They haven't got very many. I think this was because we had a warm period at the start of September. I think what they were doing, my ants, was they were getting ready for hibernation, stacking up their larvae. And then when we had that warm period, they thought, it's quite warm. We might as well develop these larvae and let's turn them to pupa even before hibernation. But perhaps the queen wasn't laying already, so they never replaced those ones. So I think that a load of larvae that they planned to go through hibernation with actually got it closed pre-hibernation, meaning they've gone through hibernation with very few. But the few larvae I can see in there are getting fed. You can see one here getting feeding on it. That's a lump of chicken there. I suspect that that one's eating. So they look okay. Couldn't see any eggs, so I don't think the queen has started laying yet. Flavus the same, they've spread out. They've got more larvae. My tiny little Flavus colony, which has probably got, I don't know, 200, 300 workers, has got more larvae than the Niger colony with a couple of thousand workers. But yeah, they're going very well. Their larvae are all spread out, getting fed. They're doing their thing. Flavus, they don't swarm out into the outworld. You hardly see them. Sometimes when they do come out, they'll come out in the middle of the night, but they tick by and get on just fine. Both queens, as you can see, are still alive, healthy, active, so no problems there. So yeah, both colonies are now fed and sugared, and we're just really waiting for the queens to start pumping out eggs for the new season and all these larvae to start changing into pupa. So nothing major, but a little minor update. Thank you very much, everybody. Goodbye.